What is up, guys? Digital VFX here once again, and today we have a tutorial on how to DJ without headphones. And first off, I'm just going to start by saying I would definitely recommend having headphones, but after the huge success of my other DJing tutorial in Virtual DJ, which I did not expect at all to get as many views as it did, I decided to do a little bit better of a tutorial and kind of do a little more explanation because a lot of people tore me up in that video just in the comments section. And not that I let it get to me, but I just used that as kind of fuel to make a better tutorial, because like I said, I wasn't anticipating it being as big as it was, so I didn't put as much effort as I would have wanted to. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get into the video. So as you can see, I have two tracks that I just loaded up, haven't even touched. I just let Traktor automatically analyze the BPMs, the tempos. That's the same thing, but I meant to say the keys. But yeah, so you can see the tempo is the exact same for them. I'm just gonna leave it at that because that's what it analyzed the BPM as, and I want to mix two songs that are the same tempo because it's a little bit easier. And just for this video, I'm not going to be using sync because last time people were complaining about me using sync. So although sync's great for beginners and you can use sync if you want, I'm just not going to for the purpose of this video. And for those of you who don't know, sync just locks the beats together. So you still need to play it on time, but as long as you play it close to the first quarter note on beat one, if you play them at the same time, they'll just lock together, and as long as your grids are locked to the correct beats, it will play in time. So first, before you start mixing, it definitely helps to know your songs and to make sure they are analyzed correctly. So if you play through this, you can even zoom in with this scroller or with these little plus and minus buttons. You can see that the beat is on time. And so going on to the next track, if I zoom in, it looks like it's just slightly off. So what I'm going to do is just click this down arrow right here underneath the active button. And I'm going to use this, actually, I'll just click that up to 128 BPM. This bottom arrow adjusts the BPM very slightly in thousandths of seconds. And this button up here just adjusts the grid. So I'm going to adjust the grid to start at the beginning of those transients of those claps. And so just scrubbing through the song, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. You can see that the beats look like they're always on time throughout the song. Perfect. So now I'll go to the beginning of that song. And it's important for when you're mixing two songs together that the song you're queuing in, I kind of have the extended window open. When you're DJing, I normally keep it on essential because this is the only information you need to see. But I'm going to keep it on extended so you can see all the knobs and faders of what I'm doing. You can't see faders C and D for decks 3 and 4, but you're only going to be needing the two faders for this song, or at least mixing two songs. So I got my two songs, and like I said, it's important to keep the bass down on the song you are queuing in, so when the bass comes in, they're not overlapping, because that's really what makes your mix sound super muddy. So as you can see, this section right here, they're kind of broken up into different colors, and it depends on the length of the song. Generally, you can check the lengths of the songs and try to determine how long each one of these sections are. But this, it looks like an 8-bar loop right there, and then another 8-bar loop. So I'm just going to count it for the purpose of this video. 1 2 3 4 2 2 3 4 3 2 3 4 4 2 3 4. And if you looked, that got us to halfway through, so that means it's an 8-bar loop. So this whole section before the breakdown right here is 16 bars. And generally, that is the length of a drop, and that's what it looks like in this song here, a 16-bar loop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to play the song from the beginning, let it play through as you typically would when DJing, and then once the drop drops, I'm going to begin the beginning of this track on a lower volume with the bass cut off, and as the drop progresses, I'm gonna start fading it in. and hopefully by the end of the drop it will be a smooth transition into the breakdown of this song. So also remember to fade up your bass as you're cueing in the second song. But that's generally it. The hardest thing about DJing is when you're not using sync. If your beats are off time, it's pretty obvious. So you need to, that's why it helps to use headphones, so you can listen to the track you're cueing in before the audience starts hearing it, and you can jog the jog wheel, just do little spurts to make sure it's in time. So while the track's playing, if it's a little off, you just kind of stutter it for a second, and I'll make it more in time. And I like sync, and I also like not using sync, just because sync's easy, and sometimes if you haven't DJed in a while, it definitely helps. But when you use sync, it takes away a lot of your freedom. And so if you're trying to mix two songs that have a higher difference in tempo, then it's definitely a lot harder to mix if using sync. But if you're just using a bunch of house songs all at 128 BPM, or any other genre for that matter with the same tempo, and you're new to DJing, you can go ahead and use sync. But yeah, let's start recording the mix, and I'm going to show you a little about what I just explained. Get this song up just a little bit. I'm only going to keep it at lower volume just in case I need to talk over it. So yeah, we got the first song playing. Your second song's ready cued. Volume is all the way down, as you can see on this fader. Bass is down, so I'm pretty much ready to mix this in. So I'm just gonna wait for the drop. This is when DJs would kind of like add effects, so got a little bit of reverb. And as you can see, this kind of moved right here. It's not exactly 128, so that'll be fine. So I can kind of show you how to make sure it's on time when it's not in the exact tempo. So this is 128 now, and this is 168, which is close enough. Kind of look to see where the lines cross and the beat happens to see if they're on time. And here you can kind of hear where it sounds when they're just slightly off. And that's pretty much how you mix without headphones. Didn't sound too bad. It wasn't too sloppy, and you know, when they weren't synced, you know, it's really good in a pinch. And I hope the music's better now for people who complained that I used the two most basic songs in EDM last time. But yeah, I hope this video helps. Remember to comment, rate, subscribe, and this has been a Digital VFX production.